We better be united. We better be strong. We better be focused. We better be articulate. We can't waste our time on Epstein and other stuff that are going on here that some people want us to focus on. I've about had it with all that stuff.
Donald Trump is terrified of the Epstein files, and Republicans are doing everything they can. They're throwing anything at the wall to try to distract from it. Today, I want to walk through a little bit of what I think the playbook is here for Republicans to try to successfully distract from this story, because not only is it killing him in the polls with both Democrats and Republicans, but it's fundamentally different from every other issue. It's dividing his core base in a way that no other issue has. Why? Because Epstein is different. Donald Trump has run his entire political career off being an outsider. I will tell you what other politicians won't. I'm different from both Republicans and Democrats. I will get in office and I will expose all the people who are coming after me and who are ruining your life. Everything about Donald Trump, it's fundamental that he's an outsider. And the thing is, the Epstein files are a culmination of what's supposed to be all these evil deep state people who have either been running the world or doing terrible, evil things or just ruining people's lives. They're supposed to be the insiders that Donald Trump has always promised to expose. And now that he is the president and the Epstein files are nowhere to be found, a lot of the people at the core of his base are saying, what is going on? Has Donald Trump been lying to me this whole time? It's different than every other issue. So let's walk through what Republicans and Donald Trump are trying to do here. First of all, what you just saw was Mike Johnson nodding along last night saying, yeah, let's ignore the Epstein files. Well, today he announced that lawmakers are canceling the last day of votes before summer break as Epstein consumes Capitol Hill. Essentially, Mike Johnson sending everybody home early so Republicans can avoid a vote on the House floor about Jeffrey Epstein, because they know that if they vote and they all vote no to release the Epstein files on the House floor, it'll be a huge story. Everybody will be talking about it. So Mike Johnson, with this 5-week recess coming up for lawmakers, said, why don't we just avoid that? We'll cut this a day early. They were supposed to go home on Thursday. Now they'll go home on Wednesday. And because of some insider baseball nonsense that doesn't really matter, it means that they're not going to be able to vote on the issue. So that's key number one. Let's just get this out of the minds of the American people. Key number two is that you need to take the Republican media machine and ramp it all the way up. And you've seen this specifically on Twitter, the most popular social media app in the entire world. And you've seen people like Gunther. How long will arrest Obama stay trending here on Twitter? We saw, the Trump administration levy all these claims that Obama was committing treason, all this nonsense. I made a video about it on Adam Mockler's channel, which, by the way, if you're here from Adam Mockler's channel, it would mean a lot if you click like and subscribe. I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below. But you start to distract with something like Barack Obama. You cancel the votes on the House floor. The Republican media machine turns all the way up. You have Gunther saying, how long is arrest Obama going to trend? You have Catturd saying, since Obama and his treasonous cabinet sabotaged Trump's first term as president, Trump should be allowed to run again in 2028. Just complete nonsense. But throw it at the wall. Tell people, hey, look over there. Obama committed treason. You have libs of TikTok, a huge account saying Trump slams Obama after report shows Obama manufactured the Russia interference hoax, which obviously the report didn't show that. And that was Donald Trump today in the Oval Office, screaming and yelling and saying, hey, focus on the fact that Obama and Hillary and all these people committed treason. And speaking of that, with all of that kind of combining as a distraction, something that a lot of people are not talking about is that the DOJ is currently talking to Ghislaine Maxwell, who's obviously was a key business partner to Jeffrey Epstein, was charged with a lot of child-related crimes, and his DOJ is talking to her right now. Listen to this clip from Donald Trump today in the Oval Office.
Do you support the Justice Department seeking an interview with Ghislaine Maxwell? Did you urge the Attorney General to seek?
I don't know anything about it. They're going to what? Meet her?
Your Deputy Attorney General has reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney asking for a new interview.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do, yeah.
Do you have any concern that your Deputy Attorney General, as your former attorney, would be conducting the interview, given...
No, I have no concern. He's a very talented person. He's very smart. I didn't know that they were going to do it. I don't really follow that too much. It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt. The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard. What they did to this country in 2016, starting in 2016, but going up all the way going up to 2020 of the election. They tried to rig the election and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that. You know, when
So obviously at the end of that clip, again, you see Donald Trump throwing everything at the wall, saying Obama committed treason, they rigged the election, he goes on to mention auto pen, all this nonsense. But at the beginning, he's being asked about his DOJ talking to Ghislaine Maxwell. And it's very interesting. You have Ed Krasenstein here, who's a big account on Twitter, saying this. So watch it play out. Ghislaine Maxwell hands over names of only Democrats and says she and Epstein hardly knew Trump. Then Trump quietly gives her a pardon and claims she deserves it for turning over the names. It's not a bad take. And I think my prediction is this is very possible for this to happen. See, the federal government is not set up in the same way anymore. Normally, the Department of Justice is largely independent from the President of the United States, shielded from a lot of political pressure so they can do their job effectively. If you remember, you and me and all these people were screaming about Project 2025 before the election. The whole idea behind Project 2025 is unitary executive theory, that the President should actually be in full control of the executive branch. So instead of these three-letter agencies like the Department of Justice, the FBI, the DOJ, the CDC being largely independent from the president and doing their job effectively, actually the president should be able to just fill these places with loyalists and control them and say, hey, go do this for me. Go indict these people for me. I'm not going to approve your IPO if it's not politically advantageous to me. All of these different things. And that's exactly what we've seen in the Trump administration. He fired a bunch of federal workers, replaced all those workers with loyalists. And so now the DOJ is a political arm of the president. And so they're very quietly talking to Ghislaine Maxwell here, and it makes sense. Now that they are a political arm, they do what's politically advantageous to Donald Trump, you go to her and you say, listen, we will give you a complete pardon so you can get the hell out of here because you're supposed to be in prison for a really long time. Tell us what you know. Say, oh, Donald Trump didn't know us. Donald Trump was never involved in our horrible, atrocious dealings with children or an island. And she'll get a full pardon. And Republicans will say, we did it. The Trump administration successfully figured out who was a part of this deep state. Here are some names. Donald Trump's not included. Ghislaine Maxwell gets to walk free. And they've successfully done it with all of what I just said. First saying, let's focus on what matters, then canceling the votes. So we go on this 5-week recess. People aren't focused on it while the media machine turns up on Obama and treason and all of these horrible things. Keep screaming it at the wall, these objective lies. And then finally, you go talk to Ghislaine Maxwell and you start to set up this pardon. You start to set up this, hey, tell us all these names. Just say you didn't know Trump. We'll get you out of here. The DOJ is a political arm of the president, and boom, there it is. And it's going to be so important that every single day we are screaming about this because it's going to be key to letting people know moving toward the midterms in 2028 that the Trump administration is nothing but a fraud. All Donald Trump does is lie about every single issue, and he is destroying the way our government is supposed to work. Listen, let me know your thoughts on my take in the comments down below. I'd love to see. I appreciate all the support lately. If you haven't already, it would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed. It goes such a long way. I appreciate you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video.